From Cardinal Television Studios, I'm James Deasy, and here is your Fisher News Brief. Republican lawmakers are facing fierce town halls nationwide. The president claims their groups planned out by liberal activists. But what's really going on? Kyung Law reports.
Iowa, Senator Joni Ernst drowned out, jeers following her all the way out of her town hall.
Shame on you! Shame on you!
Republicans in Congress defending the president's policies in packed town halls in their home districts. In California, Congressman Tom McClintock.
We don't know the financial relationships that Trump may have with Moscow. So does he want to build a hotel there? We don't know.
In Virginia, Congressman Dave Bratt's town hall, he faced off with voters on immigration.
He didn't ban immigrants. He only banned immigrants from countries that are either state sponsors of terror or that don't have...
That's not true, sir. That's not true, sir.
Just a snapshot of one day of voter outrage, prompting the president to tweet, the so-called angry crowds in home districts of some Republicans are actually, in numerous cases, planned out by liberal activists. Sad. Organized, yes, but what we've seen at numerous town halls is empowered constituents. These Virginia Beach town hall attendees are so upset at charges that they're political operatives, they wore stickers with their home zip codes to prove they do live in and care about their district. Many come from local groups calling themselves Indivisible. The name comes from this online guide written by these former Democratic congressional aides, a step-by-step manual to oppose the Trump administration. Guiding the people here to channel their post-election anger and aim squarely at members of Congress.
If you can answer any of that, I'll sit down and shut up like Elizabeth Warren.
I hope you feel better now.
Some have canceled town halls this week, citing security concerns, to then only see protesters show up outside their district offices or post pictures mocking them. A missing poster for Congressman Darrell Issa, Congressman Paul Cook's picture on milk jugs. From Obamacare to climate change, D.C. came home, only to find angry voters pointing right back at the nation's capital. Kyung Law, CNN, New York.
Protecting immigrants is a major priority for Seattle Mayor Ed Murray. He chose a mosque to give his State of the City address Tuesday. Brandy Cruz reports.
The backdrop of today's speech said a lot about what the message of it would be. For the first time, Mayor Ed Murray delivering his State of the City address outside of City Hall, instead speaking at the Idris Mosque, a visual he hopes will send a clear message to the White House.
Where the president sows divisions and widespread mistrust, Americans and Seattleites are building unity and community. Where the president is slamming doors and building walls, Americans and Seattleites are spreading our arms and opening our hearts.
The mayor had been criticized for choosing this venue, with concerns that holding an official government address in a place of worship blurred the lines between church and state. But many in this North Seattle neighborhood welcomed the idea. For weeks, they've been placing signs of support out front and sending flowers and cards.
It was a message of support, showing that the mayor and the leader of the city are for you, not by words, but by actions.
It's a place of openness and inclusion, and that all levels of society, all people should be included in the society.
We are here today for the same reason that we have stood up for civil rights in our African American churches. We are here because we are a welcoming city to all.
While the site of today's address has gotten much of the attention, the mayor also speaking about key issues like police reform and the city's continued effort to make the department more transparent and accountable. The mayor also announcing a proposal that would double the city's spending on homelessness, increasing it by some $55 million a year, a plan he hopes voters will agree to pay for through an increase in commercial and residential property taxes.
It would allow us to invest in mental health treatment, in addiction treatment, in getting more people into housing and off our streets.
The mayor also challenging Seattle's business community to raise $25 million over the next 5 years to go toward the homeless crisis, in line with his message of inclusion and unity. The mayor saying we cannot, as a city, forget about the most vulnerable among us.
A man in Missouri's alleged ties to terror is making national headlines. 25-year-old Robert Hester is accused of being part of terrorist plots that would kill innocent people. Deborah Kendrick reports.
FBI documents show Robert Hester Jr. knowingly attempted to provide material to support ISIS. Hester went by several alias names on multiple social media accounts, posting pictures of weapons and the ISIS flag. And that's when the FBI went undercover posing as ISIS agents. Documents show the conversation the agent and Hester had through an encrypted messaging app throughout the several months of their conversation. The agent asked Hester if he was willing to make that sacrifice, eventually buying types of pipe bombs. Hester stated there were people who contacted him on social media that could have been feds because of the questions they asked, and he didn't want to go to the penitentiary right now.
Opened himself up to being contacted, was very anxious to be recognized, and kind of walked right into this trap that was set for him by the FBI.
Hester identified potential targets in Missouri, buses, trains, and a train station in Kansas City. Residents on Hanover Boulevard, where Hester lived, were shocked to hear and see the news for themselves.
Still stuttering. I'm still just shocked, just like, for real? Over here? On this block? Wow. This is my reaction when he was telling me that, and I'm still like that now.
But a close friend to Hester and neighbor had a different reaction.
He's not a terrorist. There's no way on God's green earth he's a terrorist. He's a loving husband and father and son, and no one will ever convince me otherwise.
I did knock on the door of Hester's family, and they had no comment for me at this time.
And that is your Fisher News. I am James Deasy.